What is up YouTube, James Baek, welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. Today we're using the North American International Championship winning team with Drifblim, Tapu Lele, Metagross, Amoonguss, Landers, Variant, Emerald Tommy. Once again, a team created by Jeremy and Ashton. If you do want to go check them out, links in the description down below, especially if you do want to try out the team. I'll link the QR code, the paste bin, as well as the video team report. Otherwise, let's get started. We've been doing pretty well with this team. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I highly recommend go check it out. But we were able to pick up a flawless victory episode yesterday. I don't know what you would call it. I guess, well, the victories definitely weren't flawless, but you know, we were able to get a 3-win streak, 3 wins in a row in the last episode, as we got a opponent. Oh my, Tapu Lele, Accelgor, Tapu Lele, Accelgor, Incineroar, Como, Kartana, Gengar, and Accelgor. Huh. This is really interesting. Huh. I don't want to approach this. So, yeah, this is just really interesting. I don't know how I want to approach this. I like Drifblim a lot. I think Drifblim does do a lot of work here. I think Drifblim's a good Pokemon. I think Tapu Lele is great to have here. I don't know about Amoonguss, because I like Amoonguss because of the switch in the final Gambit, which could be scary. Yet, I don't like it overall in the matchup. I could bring Rotom for the Kartana. I don't think that's too much of a problem. I'm definitely bringing Metagross in this matchup. And then I'm thinking Landers, just because I feel like I need an answer in Incineroar. I do feel like Incineroar would come in. And if I bring Amoonguss, I feel like I am going to be very Incineroar weak. So I think I do have to bring the Landers here. So, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, not much else to say here. I have played... What was the last time you've seen Drifblim, Lele versus Drifblim, Accelgor? I'll tell you my last time. The last time I faced this was back when I used my Accelgor team at the regional championship, and I faced Ashton. So, but this one's got a Como, which is really interesting here, and a Gengar too, which is gonna make things quite fascinating here, as we will see a Tapu Lele Accelgor lead. So, looks like both Tapus are leading here. We'll bring out the Drifblim, Tapu Lele. I realistically think sacking my Lele is completely fine here. I'd get a free switch into Metagross, and I feel like getting the free switch into Metagross would not be a bad spot here. So I'm realistically just thinking of maybe just sacking my Lele. Probably an Acid Spray and a Moonblast comes out here, which I feel like I'd be fine with. So I think I'm going to Tailwind, and I think I'm just going to throw off a Psychic into Accelgor. I think Psychic might be a roll on the Accelgor. It was a roll on mine, I know that. So we will just see the Acid Spray come out. It actually targets my Drifblim, so maybe expecting my Tapu Lele Protect there, which is completely fine by me because of the fact that, yeah, I'll trade Drifblim here, but I'll get a Tailwind up. I get a lot of offensive pressure with my Metagross in the back, and right, knock out Accelgor on the roll. I'm in a fantastic spot. A Shadow Ball actually comes out. It's not even the Moonblast coming out or Psychic. Drifblim actually survives, which is like, wow, that's huge. So I don't even lose Drifblim there, as Accelgor are going to be brought down to like very little HP there, which is really nice because now I could just go for like a Shadow Ball and Accelgor and a Moonblast in the Tapu Lele. But I'm thinking of just going for the Shadow Ball, Moonblast double up into Tapu Lele. We did confirm that. Actually, did we? Yeah, the Tapu Lele is either Timid or it's Scarf, or maybe it's a modest speed type, but otherwise I feel pretty good about my spot. I'm not really worried about the Accelgor. The worst it can do is really Encore or Acid Spray, but it's really not going to do too much here, as Shadow Ball will be able to pick up the Tapu Lele. The important part about Accelgor being low is just it can't do much damage. We're going to see actually the Encore coming out from my opponent. Maybe, I don't know, maybe trying to lock me in the Tailwind. It doesn't work because of the fact with Tailwind and my Unburner Boost, I'm going to be so much faster than the Accelgor. Moonblast going to be able to knock out the Tapu Lele on my opponent's side, and now already got a knockout. The Accelgor is really weak. I'm feeling very happy about my position right here because everything's been working out exactly how I wanted to. I didn't think I would live the double up from the Tapu Lele there, but that works out. We're going to see the Incineroar come out for my opponent's side, so I think that's a pretty safe play for me just to Shadow Ball this Accelgor. And I think just go out into my Landorus. I don't see a reason not to just bring out Landorus here to threaten the Incineroar. The following turn, we might see a Protect from Accelgor, but I don't know. I feel like if you're my opponent, Accelgor is really not doing too much. You might just sack it off, or maybe you switch it out if you have a safe switch in the back to save it as a sack for later. But we will bring out my Landorus here, get this Intimidate off into the Incineroar. Accelgor not really mattering too much, as let's see what my opponent goes for. Accelgor will Protect here, which isn't bad for me at all. So we're going to Protect right there. Shadow Ball into the Accelgor as a knockoff is going to come out. Probably finish off my Drifblim. Yep. So Drifblim's going to go down, but I got my Landorus in for free. I can bring out my Metagross, I think. Metagross pretty much threatens everything here and is immune to Acid Spray. So, you know what? I'll just bring out the Metagross here. Just throw off a Tectonic Rage into the Incineroar slot. And the question is, do I want to actually target down the Accelgor? Because Accelgor, again, isn't really doing too much. I think my opponent's team appreciates Tectonic Rage and Iron Head. I think everything actually goes down to that combination. And if you stay in with Incineroar, yeah, I think I'm just going to Tectonic Rage here and go for the Iron Head. Incineroar doesn't usually carry Protect. I can either knock out the Incineroar or basically just nuke whatever's in the back. There's not really switching for my opponent. The only way out of this is if Incineroar does carry Protect, which I really don't see on this team. Maybe if it was a Perish Song Gengar potentially, but I don't know. I guess you could have a Perish Song if you go offensive mode. Use Accelgor to get rid of what threatens the Gengar and late game Perish Song when you're up, but I don't know about that. I feel like this team's too offensive to have a Perish Song mode, as ooh, it looks like the Incineroar actually stays in, which I forgot if I double up my opponent's slot this way. Oh, it does have Protect actually. Huh. Okay. Then what's the Accelgor going to go for? Acid Spray and a Landorus? Okay. I mean, you can Acid Spray my Landorus, but really doesn't accomplish much. Okay. And the damage into Incineroar puts in Stomping Tantrum range afterwards, so I really don't mind how this play worked out. So we'll go for Tectonic Rage here. Yes, it's a shame we did use the Z move right away, especially on the Protect Incineroar, but that's interesting. Maybe there's no Fake Out on Incineroar because of the fact that you do have Psychic Terrain. You might decide, hey, you don't really need Fake Out when I'm going to be using the Psychic Terrain, so maybe this Incineroar just running Protect over the Fake Out. So let's see here. How much damage is going to do? This should still do a lot through the Protect. Yeah, that does a ton of damage regardless. I can go for... well, Tailwind Pierce out, but like it doesn't really matter because like the Incineroar's not really going to be able to do much. I'll just Stomping here and Rock Slide. I pretty much get a knockout here, I think. Or two, potentially. Incineroar may be forced to switch out here, but nothing on my opponent's team wants to take an attack here. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty fine. Accelgor, again, not really threatening anything because Acid Spray is like the worst thing it could do. Maybe it goes for the Encore, I guess, but even Encore wouldn't help as Accelgor going to Protect. So we're going to see my opponent's last Pokemon here, I guess, which is fine by me. We will go for the Stomping into the Incineroar. Maybe it's a Como in the back. Como might be my opponent's way out, but even then, I don't think Como would be able to like create an out for my opponent. We'll see here, though. Psychic Terrain going to disappear. Como... if it's Gengar, I live a Shadow Ball with my Metagross because of how bulky it is. It is going to be the Gengar, okay. And I will just go for the... I think I just double up Accelgor here. Yeah, I think I just double up Accelgor here. And then I can double target the Gengar with any other attack from later in the game with my Tapu Lele next to the Landorus. And again, I should be able to live Shadow Ball with my Metagross. If it's timid, if it's modest, I think it's a roll on my Metagross. As we're going to see the Encore come out, targets on my Landorus, which is fine because I was going for Rock Slide anyway. And let's see what this Gengar does. It will be a Shadow Ball. This is a bulky Mega Metagross, and it's EV to survive timid Shadow Ball, I believe. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I will be able to knock out the Accelgor, which is good. So Accelgor will go down. And a Rock Slide, single target is still going to do a ton of damage to this Gengar. Yeah, that does a lot. The Gengar can have Icy Wind. I'm trying to think. If you're Icy Wind, I guess if it crit me, that's a problem, right? I feel like Gengar can still win potentially. I feel like you have to target down my Metagross though. I don't know. We'll find out. If you have Icy Wind, okay, if you have Icy Wind, I kind of want to go into Lele, but then again, you could Shadow Ball my Landorus slot. We're going to see Shadow Ball does go out on the Landorus. I'm glad I didn't switch out on the Lele. That's game, actually. Yeah. And I just realized Shadow Ball did a lot more than I expected. I didn't think Shadow Ball KO. That's modest Gengar, I think. That just did so much. Oh, no. We had a -2 from Acid Spray. Never mind. Okay. So I'm actually glad I made that play because if Landorus went down, Metagross next to Tapu Lele wins the game anyway. Which I'm really happy about, actually, because if this Gengar had Icy Wind, normal Icy Wind from Gengar wouldn't knock out my Landorus, but with the Acid Spray, it would have knocked out Landorus. It would probably knock out Metagross in the situation it was, and then I wouldn't be able to win the game 100%, so I'm glad I actually made the Protect play. A Shadow Ball going to come out into the Metagross, which is fine, because Psychic will be able to finish off the Gengar, and that would be a good game. So, yeah, luckily, even though we were in a great position, I'm glad I slowed down to think about what this Gengar could do in the end game, because if my opponent did have Icy Wind, I could have been in a really terrible spot there, because Icy Wind knocks out Metagross, knocks out Landorus. If I double attack there, just going on the aggressive, I'd 100% lose the game. So the best play there was to get Lele into Metagross, because then I could just double up the Gengar and I'd be able to win the game. And even if you didn't, as long as I hit my Rock Slide onto the Gengar as you like Shadow Ball my Metagross, for instance, I'd be able to basically, as long as I hit my Rock Slide, I'd still be able to win the game regardless. So, luckily, it did work out in my favor, as we do pick up a win there. Really nice. The bulky Mega Metagross definitely came in clutch right there. And I think overall, like, the plays were just really optimal for me. I think just being able to get a lot of damage on Accelgor, get rid of the final Gambit right away. As we find an opponent from South Korea, I think we faced this team actually. It was Z Conversion Porygon-Z with Mega Aerodactyl, if I remember correctly. So this should be fun. Yeah, this should be fun. Z Conversion Ghost is a little bit scary. I could go Drifblim, but Drifblim doesn't do much because if you lead Aerodactyl Porygon-Z, you can Sky Drop right away. Rotom Heat's decently good in this matchup. Landorus is pretty good in this matchup. Ugh, there's a lot of Pokemon that are good in this matchup, theoretically speaking. I like Amoonguss because Clear Smog and the Spore option sounds really, really nice. I don't know, this matchup's interesting. I gotta think about this. What are the Pokemon I expect you to bring? Incineroar? Porygon-Z? Maybe you don't bring the Aerodactyl, because Kartana and Feeny are actually really good in this matchup. I don't think you bring Clef. I feel like if I don't bring Rotom, Kartana could be an issue in this game. Is it weird? Is it a weird lead for me to go Amoonguss Rotom Heat? Is it weird? I didn't have enough time to think. I was thinking there are like so many options I can do here potentially. Of course, there is going to be the factor. Is there a... this is actually kind of bad, I think. Huh. Let's find out what my opponent leads. If it's Aerodactyl plus the Porygon. Oh, it's Aerodactyl Incineroar. Okay. That's an interesting lead. I kind of wish I brought Landorus now. I didn't bring Landorus. That kind of makes it bad. I can knock out the Aerodactyl. I would assume Thunderbolt knocks out the Aerodactyl. There's a simple Rock Slide here. I definitely don't want to catch a Rock Slide or Flare Blitz here. This is a problem. This is a major problem. I think I 100% have to double protect here, even if Aerodactyl gets a free Tailwind, which I don't think you will. I think you're going to go straight for the attacks here, unless you're really trying to set up Porygon-Z in the back. Realistically, if you could predict the double and you turn out your own Aerodactyl, go on a Porygon-Z if you have that option. That's something I could definitely see happening here, but maybe you just want to go for the Rock Slide, Fake Out, or Flare Blitz and Amoonguss here. We'll see what comes out. Gonna be the fake out coming out into the Amoonguss and Rock Slide. Sky Drop into Rotom. Huh. Well, I don't really need Amoonguss too much anymore. I think I'm just gonna attempt to Spore the Incineroar. What did that accomplish though? What did that really accomplish? I guess you could Flare Blitz my Amoonguss next turn, but I could just protect and then Thunderbolt your Aerodactyl. You lose your Aerodactyl. What's the point of that? I don't know who you're going to fake out either. I think the best play is if you're going to go for the Sky Drop play, I go for the Double Target Incineroar, but you could always go for that Rock Slide, which is frustrating. But you know, you are going to Sky Drop Amoonguss. So what you're probably trying to do is you're trying to get yourself into a position where you can Flare Blitz afterward to knock out my Amoonguss. Oh, that's a Salt Vest Incineroar. Okay. So I'm probably training Amoonguss for my Aerodactyl for the following turn. I think Thunderbolt should just be able to knock out Aerodactyl. Like, I'd be really disappointed in Rotom Heat if it doesn't. No. I just want to look at the Pokemon I have in the back. Okay. And I really don't want to use my Z move when I really don't have to. I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Aerodactyl and Spore the Incineroar. That's a really solid amount. That's a lot of damage. Thunderbolt going to go out and Aerodactyl. Please knock out. It doesn't knock out. Flare Blitz going to come out. Is that double up in a Rotom? Why? Okay. I really don't get that. If you Sky Drop, I'm fine. I think I'm gonna just... I think Rock Slide comes out here. I think I'm gonna go on a Metagross and just Spore. Even if you Sky Drop my Amoonguss, I mean, I get a KO the following turn with my Metagross regardless. A Rotom's still useful for the Kartana in the back. Although at this point, I'm still really weak to Kartana since I took a lot of damage. I'm really surprised about the Flare Blitz, but yeah, we're gonna see a Rock Slide. Okay. Incineroar is also guaranteed a turn of sleep here, so this is pretty good because next turn I could just go for the Spore into the Incineroar slot as well as a Stomping Tantrum, and it catches pretty much any switch my opponent could make. Hopefully we do connect the Spore here, so Aerodactyl takes a turn. Okay. That's a little bit frustrating, but not the worst, I guess. You're 100% Sky Dropping my Rotom, I think. I think I go out into... I think I Stomping Tantrum the Incineroar, and I think I go out in a Rotom. Because Amoonguss's Regenerator health is nice, as well as the fact that Stomping Tantrum into the Incineroar will be able to knock it out. And if you go for the Sky Drop into Rotom, next turn you're either going to have to knock out the Rotom in order to prevent Aerodactyl. Well, from me unleashing my Z move, because I'm going to live a Sky Drop with Rotom. Yeah, you're going to Sky Drop Rotom. And Adamant Stomping Tantrum should be able to knock out the Incineroar at this range. Yeah, okay. So we get rid of the Intimidate Mon. I'm feeling pretty nice about my situation. The problem is there's still a potential of Kartana being in the back, and Kartana is still a really scary Pokemon for my team to deal with. So let's find out what that Pokemon is. I'm thinking it is going to be a Kartana. I think it comes out, tries to get Beast Boost. We're going to see the Porygon-Z instead, though. Is it worth doubling up the Aerodactyl, or is it worth just doubling the Porygon-Z here? Because realistically, I do want to double the Porygon-Z, but the question is, does Porygon-Z protect? I don't want Porygon-Z to set up immediately for free. I think I double up the Porygon-Z with Z-Move plus Iron Head. Okay, nice. Nice. The Protect there, okay. Rotom's not going to go down at least. Here's the thing, though. Iron Head gonna come out. I mean, I'm still threatening a lot of damage with the Metagross the following turn. My opponent still has no way to actually knock out the Metagross. I wonder if you're gonna go for Rock Slide or Sky Drop the following turn, though. I think you would Sky Drop. I also don't know who's faster between the Aerodactyl and Porygon-Z, because that's gonna be pretty big, because if the Aerodactyl is faster than the Porygon-Z, which I would assume it should be, it makes it an interesting game. Gigavolt Havoc, that does nothing. I know it's through Protect, but even then it wouldn't have KO'd. I think he might Sky Drop here, but even if Sky Drop, I think it's fine. I think I'm gonna go Zen Headbutt into the Porygon-Z here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Zen Headbutt into Porygon-Z and go into Lele so I can get the actual boost. Because you're not gonna Shadow Ball, you can't Sky Drop. Rock Slide's a potential option. Kind of expecting Rock Slide or Sky Drop into the Lele. It's just a Rock Slide, yeah. Okay. Don't flinch. Hit. Nice. Okay. So we're able to knock out the Porygon-Z. That is good. Yeah, because there's no way it's delivering that. And then it comes down to the last Pokemon. Is it Kartana or is it Feeny? I don't think it's Feeny. I think it's Kartana. It's Feeny. Alright, this game got really interesting. It's Z-move on the Porygon-Z. That's I'm 100% certain. So Feeny cannot knock me out. I think it's good just to sack Rotom here since Rotom's not really too useful. I think go for the... I think it's worth just going for the Iron Head into the Aerodactyl. I win the 1v1 with Feeny with my Amoonguss, as the match is going to be forfeit there. So nice. We are able to put up a victory. Luckily there's no Kartana. I feel like Kartana would have actually been in a lot of trouble. I think maybe I should have protected my Rotom Heat a little bit better. I also could have just targeted the Aerodactyl, but I was fine as long as I didn't flinch. But I did kind of put myself in a position to flinch, so maybe the better play overall was still just to go for the maybe just the Iron Head, the Porygon-Z, and just Thunderbolt the Aerodactyl was safe. Because if I knock out the Aerodactyl, even if Porygon-Z sets up, I could go into Amoonguss and Rage Powder it. I don't have to worry about the Sky Drop threat. So I think overall the better play was to at least just attack the Porygon-Z with my Rotom Heat. But overall we were still able to pick up the win, which was really nice. And yeah, not much I can say. I think Pokemon-wise, Landers could have been better though. I think Landers definitely could have been better than Rotom, I think. Yeah, I think it definitely could have been better. Because the Tectonic Rage threat, the ability to switch in turn 1 would have been pretty nice overall. The lead didn't exactly work out too much in my favor, and also the fact that Aerodactyl was able to survive the Thunderbolt from my Rotom Heat, which, you know, I wasn't familiar with the damage calc, so I really wasn't sure if Thunderbolt would be able to knock out. I assumed it did because of the fact I'm modest. As we find Alchemist from the United States, 1622 rating. Oh, I recognize this team, isn't it? Like... I'm pretty sure he uses like this team every single time. If I remember right, it's like Z-move, Dragonite, Groundium Z Dragonite. Because I remember playing this at Mid-Season Showdown. It was like Iron Head, Bullet Punch, Scizor, Sash Pelipper. He told me he switches between Ludicolo and Walterium and AV. Incineroar, which I can't remember, and I think Coco was like a Life Orb set. I think Drifblim Tapu Lele is just a very safe lead against my opponent. There's not much my opponent really appreciates. I like Landers a lot here, but at the same time, Rotom Heat is really tempting. So is Tapu Koko. I definitely want to bring Metagross here because the damage output is like incredible with Metagross. And then, man, do I want to bring Rotom Heat or Landers? I think Landers Z-move can threaten the Scizor well enough. And Landers is just a good switch into every single mon on my opponent's team. Other than like, well, no matter what, I'm not going to switch into a water type attack with my Rotom or Landers. I think Landers is the better call here though. We'll see how this goes. So overall, I think this is a game that's definitely 100%... I don't know, it really just comes down to one is that Walterium Z. We're going to match Tailwinds early on, which is definitely something that's big. We'll find out what my opponent decides. I think Rain Mode might be coming out here. If you lead Scizor, I'm going to Will-O-Wisp it, so that's not really a big problem. Maybe Incineroar lead? I could see Incineroar lead. It's Incineroar Tapu Koko, okay. You can't fake out my Drifblim, which is nice. I get a free Tailwind off. I could just switch out on Landers, I think. I think switching out on Landers is just a very safe play for my Tapu Lele. Because I guess you could go for the Gigavolt Havoc into the Drifblim. Do you really want to risk Coco getting knocked out here? Maybe you go for the Volt Switch here into like my Drifblim, I guess. But overall, I don't see a reason not to just Tailwind here. And go hard Landers. I don't need to take so much damage to Tapu Lele. I really don't want Tapu Lele to get knocked out early in the game too. If anything, Drifblim can't help it because it will probably be knocked out by anything. And next turn, there's going to be 2 ground weeks in against my Landis, which, you know, is pretty nice since my opponent doesn't have a switch in other than maybe Pelipper, and I could catch that with a Rock Slide maybe. So we'll bring out my Landis here. Get this Intimidate off. We'll see my opponent. Volt Switch and Knockoff probably doesn't even knock out Drifblim. Tapu Koko going to protect here too, which is excellent. So Tapu Koko going to protect here. We're going to see Tailwind come out. And let's see what this Incineroar goes for. Probably a knock, I think, in a Lele. Or maybe, yeah, knock. Okay, perfect. No Snatch too, which could have been a threat. Yep, just a knockoff. That does a lot still. But that works out. I think something switching out here. I think in a Pelipper. If I could catch Pelipper here, that would be amazing. Which is why I'm thinking maybe I just go for the Shadow Ball Rock Slide play. Or I could just go for the Earthquake. No, Shadow Ball Earthquake's fine here. Even if Pelipper comes out, 2 Shadow Ball should be able to knock it out, and I still have Rock Slide pressure. Dragonite's actually going to come out instead, so my opponent actually doesn't bring the Rain Mode. As we're going to see the Incineroar's retreat too into Scizor. Okay. So nothing appreciates the Earthquake, so I'll definitely take this. Bring out the Shadow Ball. Does really nothing, but we do get an Earthquake off into the Scizor slot. And I can Tectonic Rage to Scizor the following turn and Will-O-Wisp to Dragonite. Which I like, because if I get rid of Scizor, I'm in a really good spot. I could also Will-O-Wisp to Scizor go on to Metagross, because I think the Dragonite might have Ice Punch. I don't remember if you have Swords Dance on Scizor though. That's the thing. I think just going Metagross is safe here though. Because I don't want to waste my Tectonic Rage, and Landis is really good in this game if I get rid of these Pokemon right here. We're going to see Scizor Mega Evolve, okay. I don't think it really makes a difference if Scizor doesn't Mega Evolve or not in this game. So, well, if it's a normal form and it like Clay. We're going to see the Bullet Punch come out. Does not knock me out? I don't think it does. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp does connect with the Dragonite, which is really good. So, big burn on that Dragonite as Ice Punch does come out, actually. Perfect. No Freeze, which is good. And now I can go for a... I guess I'll go for a Shadow Ball? No, I always Will-O-Wisp, I think. And I think I attempt to Zen Headbutt the Dragonite here. I am wasting turns of Tailwind. I could save my Drifblim, but then again, Drifblim really doesn't get Tailwind up in this game anymore because there's a Tapu Koko in the back, and Tapu Koko is going to be a little bit hard to get rid of right away. So I feel like it's just better just to target down the Dragonite with Zen Headbutt and Will-O-Wisp to Scizor. We could have seen Dragonite switch out into Incineroar, but I feel like Incineroar, you don't want to risk Incineroar here because if you risk your Incineroar, that's a really, I think, not optimal because I think you need it. We do get the Will-O-Wisp off into the Scizor, which is nice. And I'm hoping we get the Zen Headbutt off, too. Nice, we do connect with the Dragonite. That should be able to pick up the knockout, I think. Yeah, it just knocks out the Dragonite cleanly. Sweet. And just a Bug Bite. Okay, it's Bullet Punch, Bug Bite. That's a crit. Yeah. Not the worst case in the world. I mean, that puts me in, like, Thunderbolt or Thunder range from the Tapu Koko, but I don't feel like that's too bad. I'm guessing you're going to attempt to Bullet Punch my Drifblim now and then go out in what, Koko or Incineroar? Koko, okay. I mean, I could just go Lele here if I really want to. I mean, you could use the Z move here if you have it, but I don't think you have the Z move. Does Zen Headbutt do more than Stomping? Yeah, it does actually. I think Zen Headbutt does pick up the knockout on Koko. I think I'm going to go Lele here. I don't want to risk HP Ice. That's the one thing I really don't want to risk. I don't want HP Ice happening. I'm going to save my Drifblim because it's actually useful as a sack here, and I'm just going to Stomping the Koko. In case you Volt Switch out into your... Because if your Life Orb Volt Switch, maybe you knock out my Metagross. I actually don't think you do since we're bulky, but you might try to go on Incineroar, and I guess Stomping into it. Bullet Punch going to come out into the Lele. Just a Dazzling Gleam. Maybe expecting that Landis. Okay, that's fine. Life Orb? Yeah, okay. So I think Stomping actually guarantee KOs you now. Yeah, nice. We get rid of the Tapu Koko. We got rid of Dragonite. I was just worried about an HP Ice Tapu Koko, which is the main reason why I've been going for the plays that I've been going for, focusing on. And now I'm able just to get my Landers, and then Landers should just be able to clean the game with the Earthquake. So I just need one hit off, basically, on any of these Pokemon. So I'll just go for, I think Moonblast and the Stomping actually might be able to knock out the Incineroar, because we are Life Orb. We'll try it out. I mean, we just tried to put an Earthquake range. The match is going to be forfeited because my opponent realizes Landers is just too big a problem in the back, and we're able to take another 3 wins in today's episode. That game, it really surprised we're not seeing the rain mode, but I guess my opponent didn't think the rain mode was good enough against the Lele Drifblim mode, and maybe I just put on too much offensive pressure wise, so tried to go to Dragonite mode, but was really weak to the Landers, and luckily was just able to preserve Landers, get rid of the Dragonite, which did carry the Ice Punch, was able to get free wills off into both Dragonite and Scizor, which were the only big setup threats, I think, to my Landers in the back. So yeah, luckily able to pull through. And yeah, hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Battles. If you did like it, please like down below, show support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social medias, the side series of my channel, all that good stuff will be linked down below. And if you do want to try out the team or want to see the team details, you can check it out down below, as I said, and you can go give Jeremy and Ashton a follow. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment down below as I do read them. Leave a like on this video if you want to show your support, as well as if you did enjoy the video, I would really appreciate that like. Otherwise, that is pretty much it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.